Tonight on Top Shelf Sports, softball heads into MAC play, women's golf finishes second in conference, and we sit down with former NIU basketball star MARIC. Top Shelf Sports starts now. Welcome to our final edition of Top Shelf Sports for this semester. I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Eddie Garcia. It has been a pretty memorable year for NIU sports, as we will get to highlight some of the end-of-the-year action.
And we also fill you in on some of the few personal changes that may occur heading into the fall season. But let's start right off. Red-hot softball team. They're going to Akron in the MAC tournament play. Their 15-9 record was good for second in the MAC West and overall third seed going to the tournament. Overall, a 30-19 record. This is NIU's first back-to-back 30-win season since the turn of the century, and the Husky Sluggers match up against the Miami Redhawks in their opening game. This is the first matchup of the season against Miami of Ohio, and Miami of Ohio finished MAC play with a 14-10 record, good for fourth in the conference. NIU comes into the MAC tournament on a roll, winning 9 of their last 10 games.
A large part of the softball team's success has been at the hands of senior captain Katie Grable. Grable has earned an impressive .389 batting average this season, as I had the opportunity to sit down with the softball star in this week's segment of Leader of the Pack.
My name's Katie Grable, and this is Leader of the Pack.
NIU senior softball player Katie Grable has gained recognition as a natural-born leader on and off the diamond. Growing up with a softball family, Katie grew passionate for the sport. Grable was motivated to one day play softball at the collegiate level. Her early knowledge and understanding of teamwork would turn her hopes into a reality. Katie began the college recruiting process at just 11 years old, and by her junior year of high school, she accepted an opportunity to play at NIU.
But it was just something about the atmosphere here and the camaraderie of the team, and the girls just made me feel welcome. And I didn't really get that anywhere else I went, so I committed right away.
In just her second year as a Husky, the seniors of the team named Katie team captain. Honored by this recognition, Grable took on the role and immediately helped guide the team towards improvement. Grable, who was used to being in a leadership role since an early age, instantly gained camaraderie from her teammates as she herself was able to grow.
Katie's definitely a leader on and off the field for us, just from the classroom, community service, to obviously on the field, but she's really good at knowing just kind of when our team needs a meeting or when we need to just come together and do something team bonding, or she's just got a really good feel of every single individual and how they operate.
Growing up in California, Katie looked up to late Padres Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn. Grable says his mentality and style of play inspired her to play hard and have fun.
To me, like, just watching him play, he always had a smile on his face, and he knew when to take it seriously. But I was his #1 fan. Like, I've always been the number 19 since I got to college.
Now in her final year of college, Grable has earned the nickname of Grandma Katie by her teammates. Grable says she feels humbled to receive that title, as she is the person her team relies on through difficult situations.
A leader needs to be selfless, and I think a leader needs to look out for their teammates and just know when someone's having a bad day, or know when you can give them a pat on the back, or know when you need to goof around with someone for them to lighten up.
Upon graduation, Katie will be traveling overseas to play professional softball in Sweden. She says this will likely be her final time playing her beloved sport, as she plans on returning as a coach. Katie's motivation to grow as an individual and achieve success leaves her as this week's Leader of the Pack.
Katie looks to continue her dominance on the field throughout the upcoming MAC tournament.
After losing 2 games in a row in Central Michigan, the NIU baseball team will look to finish what has been a disappointing season for them. Head coach Mike Cunegonis says that these next 2 weeks of baseball are critical for the team. The Huskies are currently 9-9 in conference play. They look to capitalize in the next coming weeks. They have a 3-game home series against the Eastern Michigan Eagles this weekend. Senior pitcher Joe Hawks will look to build on his 3.72 career ERA, and Saturday is senior night for the Huskies.
When Top Shelf Sports returns, the golf teams competing in the MAC championship last weekend, how did they fare?
And also, Scott Nichols joins the desk to discuss his top 5 athletes for next year. Good. Oh, got it. Oh. women's golf team took second in the MAC tournament. A final round score of 303 pushed the Huskies past Ohio, who placed third in the competition. A 7th place overall finish from senior Lena Goutet and 10th place finishes from Andrea Engel and Kelly Anderson were keys to securing their 2nd place spot. The ladies' 2nd place finish is their highest since 1999. Kent State Golden Flashes took the top spot with a score of 922 over the 3-day weekend.
The golf team finished 5th place in this year's MAC tournament. I got to speak with NIU freshman golfer and 2-time MAC Player of the Week, Jordan Less, on his phenomenal play this season.
It kind of just came with all the work and preparation I did, and getting my first top 10 finish as a freshman. It's something I'm really proud of, seeing all the hard work be put into that finish, and hopefully many more to come.
Les says he attributes his dedication and passion for the sport to his father, who continuously supports him throughout his journey.
But my dad said, you're going to choose one, and you're going to just basically put all your time into that, and that's what I did. And it's not time that I have to put in, but it's time that I get to put in because I love doing what I'm doing. I mean, some of the best part is grinding in the off season, just not trying to get better.
Jordan says that the team feeds off of each other as competition, which has contributed to his success on the course.
Our coach says that it's been the hardest working group of guys that he's ever had. So just knowing that there's going to be somebody always biting at the bit to try to squeeze in the lineup, it really pushes everybody to be their best and work as hard as they possibly can.
Les was the only freshman participant who competed in the MAC tournament this year, as the golf team's success paves the way for next season.
Top Shelf sports reporter Tom Byrne received a first-hand look at the preparation for the NCAA Golf Championship.
NIU Athletics and course owner Jerry Rich hosted a Media Day event at Rich Harvest Farms, the site of the 2017 NCAA Men's and Women's Golf Championships. The event was held in Jerry Rich's historic car museum, where media entities such as the Golf Channel, NBC, WGN, among others, were given the opportunity to talk to NCAA coaches and players about their anticipation of the event. I caught up with NIU Director of Golf and Men's Head Coach Tom Porton to talk about what it means for NIU to host its first ever national championship.
We have an opportunity to really showcase what a great school we have and what a great city that we have that connects to NIU. So we can't wait till the 19th, and I'm sure it'll be here in the snap of a finger.
Media members were given the opportunity to ask questions to a panel of various speakers, including Jerry Rich and Brant Packer, Golf Channel's tournament director. Rich said finally being able to host a national championship is a surreal moment, and it was not an easy process. I caught up with co-owner and general manager of the golf course, Keith Rich, to talk about what it's like to host a national championship in the Chicagoland area.
To bring a championship like this to a major city is so huge, and this is one of the aspects you can see of bringing Chicago to a national championship and bringing it to another level. And I think we've done that, and we're going to see a lot of spectators on TV in the next few weeks.
Porton also talked about the challenges that these young players will face in taking on a golf course like Rich Harvest Farms.
You have to have command of your tee ball, you have to have the ball in the right position in the fairway, and then as much or more than any other golf course, you have to hit the second ball into the right spot, into the green.
Since finishing the golf course in 1989, Mr. Rich has hosted over 50 amateur championships, but is looking forward to this one the most. For NTC News, I'm Tom Burton.
The tournament will run from May 19th to May 24th for the women and May 26th to 31st for the men's. Both tournaments will take place in Sugar Grove, Illinois.
Moving on from the links, the track and field team finished their regular season this past weekend at the Drake Relays. The Huskies left their mark in Iowa as they set 2 new school records. The team earned first place in 2 programs at the event. Chanel Palmer earned first place in the 1.83-meter high jump, and Hope Schmesley earned the first place in the steeplechase. Kadisha Dallas and Javania White also qualified into the finals of the 100-meter jump and triple jump. The NIU track team will head to the Mid-American Conference Outdoor Championship in Kalamazoo, Michigan from May 11th to the 13th.
Track star Hope Schmesley takes the MAC Track Athlete of the Week award. She earned the award after a second straight first-place finish in the 3,000-meter steeplechase, breaking the 3rd school record. Schmesley is ranked 8th in the nation for the 3,000 meter steeplechase.
Scott A. Nickel joins us at the desk to discuss his top 5 athletes.
The top 5 athletes are where I gather stats after 5 p.m. April 27th and before 5 p.m. Sunday to gauge a spike in the player's performance. At number 5, we have softball infielder Becca Harnish, who saw her average spike from 258 to 281 as she's on an 8-game hitting streak. She scored a run in each of those games and has scored 10 runs total. At number 4, we have baseball outfielder Roderick Bynum. Bynum, it's his first time being in the top 5. He had his average rise from 276 to 289 with 3 multi-hit games and scored 5 runs against Central Michigan University. At number 3, we have softball pitcher Tara Thacker. She pitched 2 complete games, including a 2-hit shutout April 28th against Eastern Michigan. She went 3-1 overall in her last 4 starts and has kept her season ERA below 3 at 2.67. At number 2, we have softball first baseman Katie Grable. Katie Grable has been a vital part of the team all season. She ended on a season-high 9-game hitting streak to increase her team-leading average to 389. She had 8 RBIs in her last 7 games, and she is a big part of why the team went 6-1 in their last 7 games. And at number 1, we have Hope Schmelsley. She's a senior track and field runner. It's her 2nd consecutive time being named number 1 in the top 5, making her the only student athlete this semester to complete that. Schmelsley set her 3rd school record of the season with a 10-minute, 4-second, and 17-millisecond 3,000-meter steeplechase at the Drake Relays. She was named MAC Track Athlete of the Week for the 2nd consecutive time, April 30th, and has been dominant all season long as she ranks 4th in the NCAA West region and 8th in the nation at the 3,000-meter steeplechase, which is why she's only repeat of the semester. And that's my top 5.
Well, thank you, Scott. And when we return, we get an exclusive interview with former basketball center MARIN Maric, and Emma Kane takes us to the Sports Hub to update us on the crazy finish in San Antonio. All right, get ready to cue. Did we remember to write that tag in? Because, yeah, because then our Bill O'Reilly is going to come out if we didn't write that tag.
Oh, no.
All right, cue in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue 'em.
That's tomorrow, and to play us out, all right, I don't know what that is in the teleprompter. I've never seen that before. I don't know what is that.
Just think of the teleprompter. Read from the top.
I can't read it. There's no words on there. There's no words on the teleprompter. To play us out, what does that mean, to play us out? All right, forget it. You know what? Forget it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Forget it. We'll do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Stupid thing stinks. That's tomorrow, and to play us out, here's a track from Sting on his new album. Take it away.
It was reported on Monday that MARIN Maric will be transferring to DePaul University.
Our reporter Tom Burton sits down with the former NIU star to discuss why.
All right, so we're here with MARIN Maric, former basketball big man for the Huskies. And MARIN, welcome. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So what did you think kind of this season and how it turned out for you guys?
It was a lot of ups and downs. Coming into the season, I expect a lot more because we had like amazing year before. But like people trying to hype it up a little bit too much, and I was like, all my interviews was like, we're going to take it game by game and like learning point every single game. We started off, I think, 3-0, and then we kind of built it from there. We had like amazing trips to Florida. Like that was like probably one of the best trips I ever had in my college career. We went for 7 days in Florida, Miami, Tampa. It was like we went to like Busch Garden. We had like really good team chemistry going on. So like overall, I'm always so happy. I'm kind of mad because we didn't achieve a lot. Like we was at least trying to play in postseason, but overall it was like really good, like really positive.
So you talked about team chemistry. How do you think that kind of panned out as the year went on? Do you think you guys maybe lost a little bit of that, or do you think it kind of?
Oh well, we bond together. We trust each other. It was just like give and go. We believe in each other. We believe they can win every game, but sometimes it's not in basketball gods, you know, how they say, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
So your freshman year, you broke your foot, and you had to redshirt that season, and you're deciding to go to DePaul now to play. Talk a little bit about that and kind of what you.
Yeah,
see
it
there.
was for my broken foot. My freshman year was difficult. I'm coming out of high school. I was just getting adapted to the American lifestyle, American culture, and that setback kind of gave me even more determined to be successful. So the thing I wanted to do is get bigger, stronger, and then I had a chance to see the guys, see what kind of guys playing the MAC, what I'm going to go against the next couple of years, and get better with the coaches, get better with the individual, get stronger in the weight room, learn more. It was like a learning point for me. And because I redshirted my freshman year, I ended up coming back. I had my 5th year, and I decided to go to DePaul University to go for my 5th year and start my master's program.
So what made you decide on DePaul? I know you had a ton of other offers.
Well, DePaul is most of it Chicago. My host family lives in Chicago, and the coach Shane. He's going to probably be mad, but I messed his name. Coach Shane. He was assistant coach in La Lumiere when I was there. He helped me a lot. He was working out with me. He believed in my game. Over I think a winter break, I stayed in his house for a couple days. He was like a family to me. So like when he got a job, he was talking to me like, hey, like we have a spot for you if you're really into it. Like I'm not trying to like make you convinced. I don't know what's your plans, but if you want to come to DePaul, like we will need you. Like we will use you really well, and I think you can get even better. And like I know you want to play for professional, so like I can make you so much better, and we can work together. And it's in Chicago, like I said, it's my host family coaching, so it's just reasonable things for me to do. And it's a Big East. I mean, it's a better conference. It's more exposure.
Yeah. Was there any maybe reason for not wanting to continue playing here? Maybe I know there's kind of been some off-court things going on with the team right now.
There's no. Like I want to say great things about coaching staff. They changed this program around. When they bring me, like we won like 15, 16, 21, another 16 like wins. Like it's like this is amazing. What I'm a little bit disappointed about Northern is a fan base. Like I really wanted for this program to be up higher. I want to hear this school to have this school wants to have like school spirit, and I don't think that has. Like we won like 18 games last year, and we lost 1 game, and our high attendance was like I think 6,000. That was kind of like, as a basketball talented player, you want to see people cheer for you, and I'm like emotional. Like when you watch me play, I get into crowd, and I want to get guys hype and everything. So like one other thing is like playing the Big East. Like gyms are going to be packed. Like I will have a chance to shut down 20,000 people. I will have those kind of opportunity that like that's how you grow as a player, playing in a hostile environment and stuff like that. And I think Northern needs to do a better job with that. I think like I see a lot of red seats. When I play basketball, and I don't like that. This is amazing gym. It's a 10,000 seats, and like it would be dope to play in front of like. Interviews in the beginning of the year, I was like, I want to pack this house. So that's one of the things that I'm like kind of disappointed about Northern. But everything else was perfect. I have nothing else to complain about. Coaches developed me as a player. I built so many relationships with my guys. Like it's for life,
So you think that like kind of the thoughts on like just the state of the program, like with a couple players leaving, and then you and Dontel deciding to go play elsewhere. You think kind of the state of the program is fine right now?
Well, it's uprising, definitely. This program can go like up high. We have like really good talented players staying next year. We're going to have Lacey James. We're going to have Eugene German. Noah is coming back. Andrew's going to be ready. Like those guys know how to play basketball. They've been playing basketball since they're young kids. They compete. They want to get better. They're going to have target on their back because Northern is now like well-respected school in the MAC. Because let's bounce back a few years ago, we were not. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I know the history and stuff like that. But now it's like well-respected, and teams like all kind of looking ahead when they're going to play against Northern because they know we are tough, gritty, nosy team that's going to rebound and defend, and that's a team motto. Like you can see in the locker room, like together, effort and energy, stuff like that. That's what coach wants.
So lastly, you were talking before this about kind of like the young players, particularly Eugene. Kind of what do you think about him and maybe the young players going forward?
This is really hard. This kid is really hard worker. Like I see him in the gym every day. Like he's really determined to be the best at the best. He needs, like pluses and minuses. He needs to learn how to be a leader, and he needs to grow as a point guard. He's a scoring guard right now, but if he gets as a point guard mentality, and Coach Money is doing a really good job end of the year of putting him in the right fit to actually be what he's best able to do. Like he's able to score the ball, he's able to push it, he's able to do different stuff. So after he learns, when you get to the learning point, and what I had my freshman year, he don't have that. Like it's thrown in the fire immediately. So he's really talented, hard worker, really good teammate. He's got nothing but the best for him is coming in the future.
Do you think there was some nerves with him, maybe particularly in that game against Eastern Michigan at the end? Do you think maybe he was thrown into the fire a little bit and a little nervous?
I talk to him a lot. We have a bond. Me and Gino got a bond. We both have the same goal and be professional basketball players. And you need to, basketball is not an individual sport. You need to have 5 guys on the same team, on the same page, to work as a unit. So Gino was probably nervous, like everybody was. It's probably the last game of the year, and it was like Eastern when we played them. They always play zone. They always throw something different at you. So like we was getting adjusted, like different style of basketball.
Yeah. Cool. All right, thanks, Marin. I really appreciate it.
The conference semifinals for the NHL and the NBA playoffs are heating up.
And McCain has more at the Sports Hub.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to the Sports Hub. On Monday, hail in Denver caused the Cubs to play a doubleheader yesterday. The Cubs have been struggling as of late after being swept by the Yankees at home last weekend. Jake Arrieta took the mound in Game 1 and looked to improve his 4-1 record. We'll pick it up in the top of the third, and Mark Reynolds hits a bloop single to center to add to the Rockies' early lead. Now later in the third, Ryan Hannigan hits a bloop to left center. Kyle Schwarber and Albert Elmore can't get to it. 3 runs will score on the play, and the Rockies extend to a huge lead. Arrieta only lasted 3 2/3 innings and gave up 5 earned runs. Mark Reynolds had a huge game, going 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a home run in the 6th. Dylan Floro ended up pitching the rest of the game, going 4 1/3 innings with 6 hits and 1 earned run. Schwarber went 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI, and Wilson Contreras went 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. They hope for better fortunes in the night game with John Lackey on the mound. We'll pick Game 2 up in the top of the second, and Lackey hits a single to right center with the bases loaded. 1 run scores, and the Cubs have 1-0 lead. Lackey's shown he can swing the lumber. Very next batter, Albert Amore hits a ground ball to DJ LeMahieu and flips it over the head of Trevor Story. LeMahieu gets the air, and 2 runs score, making it 3-0 Cubs. Lackey had a strong performance, going 7 innings with 4 hits and 10 strikeouts. He bounces back after a couple of rough starts. Now in the 8th, Javier Baez hits a blast to right center. Gerardo Parra looks up, and Baez hits his 5th home run of the year. The Cubs go on to win 8-1. Chris Bryant went 2 for 4 and hit his 7th home run of the year. Lackey became the oldest starting pitcher in Cubs history since 1893 to throw 7 scoreless innings with 10 or more strikeouts, according to MLB.com. The rubber match finishes today with Kyle Hendricks pitching for the Cubs and German Marquez for the Rockies. The White Sox hosted the Minnesota Twins last night with Mike Pelfrey on the mound for the Southsiders. They came into the game with 15-15 record after getting swept by the Orioles last weekend. In the top of the 4th, Max Kepler hits the ball to the third base side and gets the RBI single. Polanco comes around to score, and the Twins are on board. It's 2-1. Very next batter, Kenny Vargas smokes one over the right field wall, and all of a sudden the Twins have a 3-2 lead. In the 6th, Dan Jennings on the mound for the Sox and gives up a 2 RBI single for the Ender Endrianza. Garcia is given an error on the play, and the Twins have a 5-2 lead. Later in the 6th, Joe Mauer hits an RBI single, extending the lead to 7, and the Sox can't get past the Twins. 7-2 is the final. Byron Buxton went 3 for 4 with a double and an RBI for Minnesota. Jose Abreu went 1 for 3 with an RBI for the Sox. They will play again tonight with Phil Hughes on the mound for the Twins and southpaw Derek Holland for the Sox. Over in the NHL playoffs, the Ottawa Senators eliminated the Rangers last night in Game 6 and advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. The other spot in the finals will be decided tonight as the Penguins and Capitals head to Game 7. The Anaheim Ducks and Edmonton Oilers also face off in a Game 7 tonight. The Ducks hope to rebound off of a tough 7-1 beating last game in Edmonton. The winner of that series will play the Nashville Predators in the Western Conference Finals. The NBA playoffs are finishing up the second round this week. In the East, the Cavs swept the Raptors to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. They wait for the winner of the Celtics-Wizards series. The Warriors swept the Jazz in 4 games and advanced to the Western Conference Finals. They wait for the winner of the Rockets-Spurs series, and Game 6 last night ended in dramatic fashion. Manu Ginobili turns back time and blocks James Harden. I didn't even know that it was possible to block him. He saves the game, and the Spurs take a 3-2 series lead. They play in Houston tomorrow at 7 p.m. That will be it for the Sports Hub. With more on national news, we send it straight to the garage where Brandon Morocco has more on the racing world.
Thanks, Emmett. NASCAR headed to Talladega last week. Talladega is known for being a big track with big crashes, and this year it certainly did not disappoint. So let's see how it all played out. The early part of the race was a relatively tame one for Talladega. We saw a lot of manufacturers working together throughout the day. Brad Keselowski took home the first stage. Denny Hamlin used the strategy at the end of the first stage and pit 2 laps before the end of the stage so that he would be out in front for stage 2. The gamble paid off, and Hamlin led every single lap in stage 2. In Talladega, it is never a question of if the big one will happen, it is a question of when. The answer to that question came with 20 laps to go when A.J. Allmendinger, running in 3rd place, got into Chase Elliott, running in 2nd, and 16 of the 40 drivers in the race were involved in the wreck. Allmendinger ended up on his roof, and the wreck caused the race to be red flagged. After the red flag, racing resumed. With 2 laps to go, Kyle Busch had the lead, but was followed close by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The two battled it out before Jamie McMurray and Jimmy Johnson joined the battle. Stenhouse Jr. was able to hold off all the other cars and hold on to get his first ever win. The win came on his 158th start and ended a 101 race winless streak by team owner Jack Roush. Stenhouse has 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s this season. And now I want to turn our attention to what's to come this summer. During our break from Top Shelf Sports, NASCAR head to every type of track, from short track, intermediate track, superspeedway, and road course. I think we'll see some different winners, and it'll be exciting to see how much of these stage points actually come into play for the chase. I'm looking forward to seeing how the biggest questions are answered of what Dale Jr. can do on his final year. Can he get his first championship? And how the Gibbs team can improve, because last year at this time they had won 5 out of the 9 races. So that remains to be seen. I'm excited to see how it all plays out. And when we come back in the fall, it'll be just about time for the chase, and we'll resume coverage from the garage. So thanks for joining me in the garage this season. I'm Brandon Morocco, and I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brandon. Football is back in action. The Huskies took the field for the spring game. 15 starters returned for the 2017 season, but head coach Rod Carey says every position is up for competition this spring. All-American candidate Max Sharping returns at left tackle, as well as receiver Christian Blake and tight end Shane Wyman. 9 defensive starters will also return, as safeties Brandon Mays, Traquan Smith, and Michael Allen are back to roam the secondary. Keep your eyes on the quarterback competition between redshirt junior Ryan Graham and sophomore Daniel Santa-Catarina. The Huskies are looking to improve on a 5-7 record in 2017.
From the field to the ice, NIU hockey is a sport that has quietly had some success in the past couple years in both Division II and III hockey. Top Shelf Sports reporter Ryan Saunders sits down with the member of the team.
I'm Billy Peterson. I started skating when I was about 6 years old, and that's when my parents really started developing me into a hockey player, because they knew that I would like it, enjoy it, because the rest of my family are also hockey players, the men in the family as well. So. My first team was the Fox Valley Cyclones. Obviously, they play out of the Geneva area, Fox Valley area. I have to say my older brother Anthony, because he really pushed me to be the best hockey player I could be, and he was a hockey player as well and had more experience than I did, so I knew I could look up to him as a mentor, and I could look up to him to show me how to play hockey and how to do the fundamentals. My favorite experience is definitely being with the team. I do like the school factor. I get to live with 2 of my really good friends and everything like that. That's a lot of fun too. But it's really just about being with the team. You know, whether it's road trips, whether it's practice, whether it's home games. It's just a good time being around this group of people. It's a positive vibe. It's just a really good time being with your close friends on your team and just connecting with them and growing as a team. Yeah, I mean, it's a blast. Hockey, you know, you really develop lifelong friendships, you know. As a kid, he plays on D3. His name's Trevor Bondarovich. I've been good buddies with him since high school, and I've known him for at least 5 years now, if not 6. And it's just really cool because you really develop as a player. You develop with your friends. And even the friends I've met now on NIU, they're going to be lifelong friends. I know that. So it's pretty cool to see that and kind of progress with your buddies like that. So. Oh, it's been a long ride, you know. It's been a roller coaster, you know. Every good hockey player, I guess you could say, has their high ups, and every player has their downs. You know, there's sometimes you'll be in a slump. You know, you don't score for a few games, 4 or 5 games. You know, you just got to get yourself out of it. You got to stay motivated, and you got to keep working hard in practice and go beyond the best of your ability, and you'll start seeing results. And it's been a heck of a ride, you know, playing this level of hockey. It really teaches me that you got to keep going. You know, if you have a bad game, focus on practice the next week and build on it. And I've really learned that throughout my 3 seasons I've played here so far. That's the main thing I've really learned. I got a pretty straightforward goal for next season, and that's to score more goals and be more effective, honestly. I was effective the second half of this season more than the first half, but I'm a little disappointed in myself with the way I played. And next season it's really not a simple goal. It's just not a complex goal, but to execute more. I want to score more goals and get more assists, get more points, and work my way up in the lineup. And rather than this year, I played 3rd or 4th line.
The NIU hockey team, D2, finished 1-13, and both teams look to continue some success in the future. Well, this is a bittersweet moment. I'm going to take a little bit off script, and I want to thank everyone here at Top Shelf Sports. This is my last show. It was Emma Kane's last show. Thank you so much, floor manager, to cameras. Thank you, Eddie. You've been awesome.
Awesome, man.
See you in the next life, I guess, right?
Definitely see each other in the future, and it was great having you. You did a lot for Top Shelf Sports here at NIU, and I think everyone here appreciates all the work you put in.
Thank you, man.
And I plan on continuing it next semester.
Yeah, you are.
So you're going to return as a Top Shelf, maybe an ESPN reporter one day?
Yeah, I'll turn as alumni. I'll do a show with you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's it for Top Shelf Sports. Like us and look us up on Twitter and Facebook, along with listening to our various podcasts on SoundCloud. Also, listen to the Northern Star Press Box, a podcast dedicated to getting the inside scoop on various NIU athletes.
Top Shelf Sports is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. We would like to thank you for joining us, and as always, go Huskies.
Goodbye, everyone.